All right, if you saw my last layered stamping tutorial, I had a review for the Born Pretty double-sided clear stamper. And this is the smaller one as compared to the Beauty Big Bangs one. And I talked about how I hated double-sided stampers. So I did a couple of things. I asked my husband to chop off one end. And so now I have one side that you can look through and doesn't have that annoying little dot in the middle. And then what I did was I took the small side of this and found a container that I think works okay for this. It's not perfect, but for now, until I find something better, this works. And it's the it's a chapstick or lip balm cap. And what I asked my husband to do is just cut out the closed end. And he did say to warn people not to try this at home unless you know what you're doing and are pretty strong, because what he did was he held one end, the open end, with some pliers, and then he took a sharp box cutter or razor and just sliced off that end. And he didn't like make it smooth or anything, but it works. And I added a little bit of Scotch tape to the inside because it was a tiny bit too big. So it kept slipping through as I was using it. So that works to hold it in place. So, and this is the tiniest clear stamper that I have been able to get to work for me really well. So you will see that in use when I do the layered stamping bit, because I think that that's the big problem is the pencil stamper that I have from Lantern and Wren is awesome. It picks up great on both ends, and as long as it's not a layered stamping thing, you can see it well enough to place images. But if you really, but you can't do the layered stamping with it, like these plates that I will show you. So I think that a clear stamper, and this one's slightly bigger than the Lantern and Wren one, the pencil stamper, but I think a clear stamper is really necessary for layered stamping. But anyway, I'm going to show you what I did here. And first I'm going to start off and use sort of the stem and the grass from this plate, which is UR08, and it's I think it's a knockoff of the Uber Chic Beauty Yay Spring plate. So first I'm going to use this dark green from Born Pretty, and I actually am on the lookout for a better dark green, because I like this one, but it's not as opaque or as dark as I would like. So for this one, I'm just using my regular full nail stamper because I am stamping over the entire nail. Okay, and I'm going to go in and add a little bit more and add, so I use up all of that. And I'm actually going to double stamp it twice, or double stamp it, because as I said, it's just not as opaque as I would like it to be. And I forgot to mention, the base is Wildflower Lacquer Groovy Green, which I think is just a really pretty spring green that really works well for this. Okay, and stamp it again. And so I think that gives it a bit of extra depth to the grass there. All right. So I'm gonna clean that and put it away. Okay, so next I'm going to stamp with this Kads Flower 026 plate, and I'm going to use these 3 images here for layering. I do really quite like the Kads images for layering. I think that they're a tiny bit too big is my only issue with them, as you saw in my last layered stamping with the Morning Glories. It looks great on my thumb, but here I think they're too big for these nails, and part of it is I have small narrow nails, so for other people that might work great, but not as much for me. So the colors I'm going to be using here are Corazon Kaleidoscope. I'm using 81 Bisque. Then I'm using 14 Fuchsia and 88 Vinous. And I really like the Corazon stamping polishes, as you guys know. Okay. So I find that because this is so little and I have to turn it over, it's good to have it in my other hand as I'm doing this so that it's really readily available. So I'm just going to put a little down, scrape, pick up, then place that on the nail like so, and make sure that that's clean for the next one. And then next color, and again have it in hand, scrape, pick up, and line it up, and last one. Okay. And then and there you go. The thing that I really like about this size is that I'm not worried about picking up the extra bits, and it may still be a problem with plates where there's not enough space in between the images, but for a plate like this, it really helps just really isolate the images that you want to pick up. So the last thing, in case you didn't notice, is I added some leaves just because I felt like you had to fill in that part, because otherwise the empty space is there. Otherwise it sort of looked like the flower was sort of floating in midair. So I used that same green with a little liner brush, and hopefully you can see this. I just added a couple, oops, wrong one. I just added a little bit of color to the stem, and there you go. So now I just need to clean up and top coat, and I'm done. Thanks for watching.